All right, guys, it's me and Will again. We're coming to you with video number 8. In this video, we're going to be talking about a feature within Agent CRM that is incredible. I mentioned in the previous video that I treat Agent CRM like a slave. It does things. It does exactly what I want it to do. Okay, it does jobs for me. Technically, there's not a word job on Agent CRM, but the technical word for a job is automations. And I'm going to let Will dive into this thing and explain what automations are, where they're located in Agent CRM, what they do for you, and you're going to have a really good understanding of these type of jobs that Agent CRM can do.
Yes. Now, we've already covered and we've dived into automations, but this is going to be a little bit of a deeper dive to show you more what are they, where are they, what can you do with this? And we're hoping to give you some ideas and to spark some creativity and some problem solving. Now, remember, if you're watching this video or if you've been following Luis, you know that signing up through him, you will get a whole bunch of stuff that he's already created. So I don't want you to think that as you're watching this, man, are you telling me I need to do this all from scratch? No, but we want to show you what you can do, show you where to tweak things if necessary. So let's just dive right in here. Let me adjust my screen for y'all. All right, now you should be able to see on the left-hand side in the menu, there is something called automation. I like to think of this as the brains of the system, the rules, the some of you might know if this then that statements. Those are all different ways to describe things that can happen behind the scenes on your behalf. Imagine tasks, imagine reminders, imagine notifications, all these things that maybe you have yourself doing, or maybe you want an employee to do, but you can't afford an extra employee. Or maybe your employee is wasting time doing things that you know at this point, technology probably has a solution. That's what we're going to dive into in this video. So on the left-hand side, we're on automations. Now, this is a demo count with only Luis's content. There's more stuff that we provide through Agent CRM, but I'm just going to scroll down and show you based on providers. I've got about 5 pages of different unique workflows, automations, same thing. Anything you want to say about the various content that you've provided?
No, I would just
Luis?
say, well, yes, I will say this. The workflows that I've created, they've been created because of what Will just said. I don't want to go hire somebody else, spend $40,000 in wages for them to do jobs for me. I would much rather, I think of a job, I'm like, you know what? I want to do this. We need to send all our clients this, or I want all of my clients to get an email and a text message from me. All of them. I have over 10,000 customers between all my lines of business, and I want them to get this. And so again, it's a job. We got to tell Agent CRM what to do, and Agent CRM listens very, very well. So Will's going to go into this and show you some of the automations that I have. And again, all of these guys, I will tell you this, we've tested them. I use them day in, day out. You're not getting stuff on here that is just like, oh, this must be nice. No. You're getting them because in my agency, we're utilizing it.
That's right. So part of what you're going to do as you've signed up or as you're exploring is just going through and seeing, what does it look like? This is the inside view of a workflow or automation. Again, those two terms, they mean the same thing. Now, every workflow will have a trigger and an action. What sets off a chain of events? Did they schedule a call? They should get an appointment reminder. Did you make a sale? Maybe they should get a cross-sell workflow. Now, in this example, there's some things that are already set for you, but maybe you have an idea and you think, That's not a part of it. That's not included, or I would do it differently. So imagine that we want to sell something. This might be a bad example, but we can do it based on a birthday. Some of you already know I have specific things. Maybe it's just a birthday check-in. Maybe you just want to say, hey, I've been thinking about you. The system's been thinking about you. And I just wanted to check in and say happy birthday. I'm glad to be working with you. I'm your guy. If you need to check in about some options, here's my link. There's all sorts of things can set off this chain of events. Maybe you added a tag. I like to use tags a lot because it gives me an extra piece of information. It's like sticking a little post-it note on their contact profile digitally and saying, this person, maybe they are a client. Maybe they're this type of client. They've bought dental, or maybe they have ACA or Medicare. We add little tags to keep track. And those tags can also set off another chain of events. I'm just going to skim down here. In the Agent CRM training course, we go through all of this stuff. So I'm going to refer to that instead of going into all of the little details. Maybe they filled in a form. Here's a great one. You've got a website or a landing page where you say, hey, I would like to get a quote. I fill in my details. As soon as they submit that form, you want to send them a text. Or maybe even better, let's do this. I want to send myself a notification. I want to know the second someone fills in a form. I don't want to forget about it. I don't want to ignore it. I don't want to find it in my junk box or in my email 3 days later when they've already started to cool down. So let's say in this example, form submitted is the trigger. And you know what? I'm going to build a new one because this is a bit cluttered for my example. So let's say here, create workflow. I remember the first time I created a workflow, I was a little bit intimidated, I'll be honest. But once you start to dive in, there's a creativity that comes. There's a strategic fun component to it. Again, you don't have to be that person. You can just use the assets that are provided. But in this example here, form submitted.
Here's what I think, Will, I'm going to chime in on this because right here, you're like, oh, maybe you're at home and you're thinking, man, I would like to create this job, this workflow. All my life insurance clients, I want, and let's just say I want to send them this, whatever, and they're going to fill out a form like Will is doing. And when they go here, I'm going to do this or this or that. You start thinking like this, you can call Agent CRM and they'll help conceptualize this and start it for you. But just it is fun thinking of ways to help people and make money. That's where this becomes super fun.
So back to the example here, I've just made some settings, whether you want every single form submitted to get the same notification, or in this example, I have a very specific form that I want to create a reminder or an internal notification about. So this account has an ACA info form. So that's now the trigger. I like to name them. You don't have to, but it just helps me organize. ACA form. That's just for my notice. You can see at the top now. Look, I know exactly. Just looking at it, I can tell. Now, I want to give myself a notification. Do you want an email? Do you want a notification on the app? We've got an app that this also connects with. I like text personally because emails, I do not want to show you my inbox at the moment. But text messages, I'm always on top of. So I know that's the best way for me to find out. So let's do it to a custom number. And then I'm just going to throw in a number. So we're going to customize a message here. We're going to say user. That's me. I'm the user. Yo, lead just filled in your form, bruh. Remember, this is to me. Yeah. This is just something that I'm telling myself, reach out, make that call or miss the sale. For a while I was intimidated making phone calls, I actually included a text message like, not like this exactly, but my text message to myself says, "Hey, Will, Tom Jones just filled in your form. Make that call. Tom Jones is ready to take action." I customize a notification to myself to remind me to get in there and to amp myself up. So that's what I'm doing in this one. Here we can just add the contact. Let's add the full name. And then let's add, maybe the phone number would be good.
And you got to put the email. Yep.
Got to put the email. Again, there's lots of ways that you can customize this, but what's going to happen here right away, as soon as they fill in that form, split second later, I get a notification right to my cell phone. Will, yo, Lee just filled in your form, brah. Didn't even spell form right. Make that call or miss the sale. So I get a text. Now, maybe what we want to do next, we want to send them something too.
Mhm.
We don't want to, let's see, how do we want to do this? Actually, yes, I don't want to wait. I want to send them a text right away too. It's called an SMS.
Mhm.
Hey, comma, contact first name. I don't want to do full name here because that doesn't feel as personal. Thank you for filling in our form. Someone will be reaching out to you shortly. Reply with any questions. You can also book. I like doing this. I want to call them. I want to be an action taker, but sometimes I'm busy. Sometimes you're busy. Depends on the time of day they filled out. I get it. So I want to make them able to have a very clear call to action. You can also book a call at your instance here. Boom. And I can copy my link or I can grab, let's see here. We're going to grab a calendar. All right. Now, some of this you'll set up a little bit differently, but just showing you. Thanks, Will's awesome insurance agency.
Beautiful.
Boom. So what happens again from the top? They filled in a form. I get a notification because I need to know. I need to jump on that. But they get a text as well. And from there, we can just imagine what might I want this to look like. You know, I want to wait. I don't want to leave it there. I want to wait maybe a day. Again, I can just add that note there. Wait one day. That helps me just visualize there. Wait one day. I want to message them again. If they haven't booked an appointment, I want to get on them because they raised their hand. They clearly want and need what I'm able to serve them. But if they have not taken action and if I have not been able to connect with them, I need to make sure to create the genius system. Again, Luis has some great content. Explore that, familiarize yourself with that. But hopefully, this is just unlocking something in your mind as you understand this is the process that agents, this is the process that I, as an agent, need my connection points to look like. How can I maximize the touch points to give the best service, also to increase my conversion rate? Things like appointment reminders. If you do not have an appointment reminder set up, your no-show rate is going to go through the roof because people forget. People are human. People got stuff going on. But when you get a text, hey, looking forward to seeing you in half an hour. Please be ready at a computer. Whatever your reminder pace or language looks like, we can add all sorts of customized interactions by setting up what we call a workflow or automation.
And there it is, guys. And I'm going to give you a pro tip. When you send that client a text message, you can tell them, I'm going to be calling you from this number. Because guess what, guys? These people, I mean, just think about it. I mean, with just hitting here, I've gotten 4 or 5 calls and they've all been spam. So if you tell them, I'm going to be calling you from this specific number, which is going to be the number, not your cell, unless you're just going to call from your cell. But if you're going to be calling from the CRM, you're going to have a phone number associated with that CRM. And if you're wondering, well, where do I get that? Go to one of the previous videos and where we go over the setup and we go over the section where you're going to add a phone number, buy a phone number, which is a few dollars. And then you'll have a phone number that's assigned to you for texting and emailing.
That's right. All phone calls are recorded when they happen in the system. You can even do cool things like voicemail drops.
Oh.
Now, for me, this is a game changer here. And I do understand there are some areas where you need to be smart about this. There are some compliance areas. But for those who have opted in and said, yes, please reach out to me, you do have the ability to do this trick or this campaign. Now, I do suggest the first touch point that you make should be a personal manual call. But there may be points that you may choose to add a voicemail like, imagine this. Luis booked a call with me. I pulled a no-show. Super rude on me, but Luis doesn't want to make it his full-time job to track down people who are not able to manage their time. So he, like we showed in the last one, he just drags the card to the next column. And what that could trigger is a voicemail drop. Hey, this is Luis calling. You and I had an appointment, and it seems like something might have come up on your end. I'm sorry that I couldn't connect with you, but I'm looking forward to helping meet your needs. I'm sending a text and an email with a link to my calendar. Feel free to book at your convenience. Hope you're doing well. Bye for now. That's a recording. That gets paired with the text and an email. And he's not making that call. He's not wasting one more minute of his time. He's shown up for the meeting. I was the one who didn't show, but he has a great automation behind the scenes that can help to redirect and nurture me without consuming additional time from his day.
You can do a voicemail like that, guys. You can even have, let's say that this guy submitted the form. Will, click on or add this right before right after the text message goes on to them and before the 1 day, add the whisper call.
What do we call that? That's an internal, isn't it? There we go. Manual action to call. We have a few different tools that.
Yeah, it's called. Oh, now I'm thinking of it.
That's why we should start with reviewing your workflows.
Yes.
But essentially, what's going to happen here, and this is going to be here the manual call. There's different types of calls. You can see manual action to call it. Maybe that's it there. No, that's the exact one. I'm in the right place, guys. So what happens is a call comes to Luis. Tell us what you experience when you get these actions.
Yep, and right now I am typing it into my other screen here. I'm going to give you the name to that. It is called it's just under call. Go to call. Just put call. And then
oh yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Look
and then
at
you're
that.
gonna type your message right there. And it's
This is
gonna
to you.
call you. Okay, it's a little weird. It's gonna say, hey Luis, you got a lead. Hit any key to connect with your contact.
Mm-hmm.
Just filled out a form. So there you are. You got an internal notification, which was a text message. The client got a text message, which is that SMS. And then, and I would label that one whisper call, so you know who it's calling. Okay, a whisper call to contact, whatever. and then it calls you, and it reads out that whisper. Luis, you got a client just filled out this form. Do you want to talk to him? Hit any key to connect. You hit one, then what it does, it dials your lead without you ever having to punch the numbers in. Now all of a sudden it's connected. And they're like, hello, hey, Will, this is Luis. You were on Facebook right now and you just filled out a form. Will's gonna be like, wow, you're quick. Or get out of my computer. What do you do? You know, you're gonna freak them out. Maybe you want to give yourself a little time, but
I
how
would
cool
wait.
is it to have the system call you and then you connect with your lead without you even dialing the number? Man, there's so many features on here. This is where you can, your creativity, and you're thinking, well, I want to do this, I want to do that. And you start building out this workflow, and it can just continue and continue and continue. And these things can get kind of crazy. It's whatever you want to do with it. Again, remember, this is a job that you're making Agent CRM do for you. So you're going to spend some initial time, one time, building it out. And then you just got to know that it's there, and you assign a contact to that job, or you give it a tag or whatever it may be, and you tell the workflow, hey, pull the trigger whenever a tag or this happens or that happens. It's just listening. And as soon as you do something, boom, it pulls the trigger and it starts working for you.
Yeah.
It is
Let's show
super.
one last way here that we can add,
Okay.
because we've talked about the triggers, but you can also do things manually. Now, we've talked to Will, talked to me. We've used me as an example a few times here. So let's add me to the campaign manually. When I'm in the contacts, or as was shown in the previous video, inside the profile itself, but let's do it here. I'm going to click, yes, I want Will to be contacted. Let's add them to the campaign. I might not have actually published it. This is a big mistake that we see, that I seem to have made myself. It's on draft mode. Sometimes we want to make sure it's on draft when it comes to your system, because, hey, you want to make sure those messages are yours. The Will's Genius follow-up campaign is published. It is ready to rock. So we're going to take here and just click that little robot. Again, we're using robots to do the hard work. There it is. Showed up. I can add tons of people. I can blast hundreds of people with this campaign. I can drip maybe 25 people a day, every other day. But let's just leave a note. Test new. This is for internal purposes here. Test new workflow. Add to campaign. Boom. Now, if there was a text message, you could see here almost right away a text would go to this contact. And we can go back into that automation now. Will's Genius follow-up campaign. Now, usually I'd come through the form, but I added myself because I wanted these messages. Text would go. So I should have already received the text if this was a functioning account here. Wait 2 minutes, and then within a minute or two, a whisper call will come up on the phone that's connected to this account. You can see how many people are at each stage of the way. Look at that. There I am in this step. And I should be able to either delete them. If someone reaches out and they're like, I hate you, don't contact me, we can do the do not disturb. That's something else. But you can also make sure if there's people halfway through, let's either delete him or let's just push him to the next step. And then the contact will move. So this is another way you can add, but again, just unlocking your thinking. We're not showing everything in this video. We're just getting you thinking, what are automations? What are workflows? Again, same thing. And what could they do for my business? We hope that you found some great thinking and ideas in this video.
I don't know about you, but I'm already thinking of another workflow to build out. It's crazy, guys. Once the mind gets going, it is super cool to think of all the different workflows. So
Yeah.
I'm going to share some of the ones that we've already done with you. Let me pull up there we go. So look at what I've already created, guys. For Medicare, I've created a Medicare enrollment folder, which has a bunch of stuff. What I do in there is when it's looking for a trigger, and I code my Medicare people with a carrier. I may say MAPD Aetna. So when it sees the MAPD, it's like, oh, I got one trigger, I need one more, Aetna. Okay, boom, it gets a second trigger. Then what happens is, what it does is it's going to send them emails in reference to Aetna, their member service number, the provider link, the formulary link, the website for them to go create their account on. And I do this for all the carriers. Okay. I have an MAPD AEP reminder workflow. How cool is that? What it does is it looks for everybody that has MAPD or PDP. That's a prescription drug plan. It looks for anybody who has those two tags, and it starts emailing them and texting them when they are, I think, 2 weeks. I start letting them know like in early October. Check this one out. Look at that very last one. I'm going to make this thing big. This is the money maker for me. Okay. Look at this workflow right here. Turning 64 and a half new to Medicare. You agents, including me, go crazy. We do anything that we can to get our hands on turning 65 leads. Well, why not mine your own backyard? What I do with my entire book is I put their date of birth. This workflow, what it does, it searches for them, and it knows when they're 64 and a half. Then what it does, it lets me know, hey, Luis, you got a new T64 and a half. Beautiful. Now I know, this thing starts to work. It lets them know, hey, and I get a little goofy. The first email that goes to him is this, Will. Hey, Will, happy birthday. I know, I'm kidding. I'm 6 months too early, but now that you're about to turn 65, you need to get ready for Medicare. And I'm your Medicare guy. I do not want you to answer one phone call with somebody calling you. I do not want you to hit one of these reply cards. I don't want you to do anything. I am your guy for Medicare, and I'm going to take care of you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide them on how to enroll into Medicare. It's Part A, Part B. Then I'm going to explain, I'm going to do Medicare 101 with him. And then I'm going to explain the options, maybe option 1, MAPD, option 2, MedSup PDP. And I'm going to figure out what works for this insured. And I'm going to get a brand new sale. All right. This is my biggest money maker. I write about 10 apps a week. I'm not a big writer anymore. I have a book about 1,000 Medicare clients. And I will tell you, most of the ones that I write are my existing ACA customers and my existing property and casualty customers. So maybe you're like, well, I don't have a lot of that. Well, what if you have a final expense book? Okay. Look at one of these other workflows I have here. Final expense book of business without MAPD. Okay. Well, now you can get your final expense clients, put them all in there, and it starts hitting them up, letting them know AEP is coming, that you're now a Medicare agent and you can help them. Man, there's a lot to this, guys. Okay. It's exciting of all the things that you're like, all right, I'm going to be the slave driver of Agent CRM. I can't think of a better name, a better, acronym or reference, but I would tell you Agent CRM would do everything you ask it to do. And that, without hesitation and on point, it will do it. You just got to tell it what to do. It doesn't know what to do until you tell it. So, and
Yep.
that right there is exactly what a workflow is. You got to tell it what to do and when to do it.
Yes. I think there's two types of people watching this video right now. Some of you where you're thinking, this is a game changer. I'm so excited to fiddle around and make it work. There's another group of people that might be saying, well, that's great, but I don't have time. Now, I would argue you don't not have time because part of these tools are what are going to help to scale and elevate your business. You're caught in the weeds. You're doing all these micro tasks where you might think you don't have time for setting some of these up or learning the system. It's because you're sending one off emails here and there, a minute here, 5 minutes there, 10 minutes there. This is adding up. And that's why you feel like you don't have time. But part of what we want to do is really dial in, automate, and scale your business using the latest tools that are out there. Now, we've talked about this in a few of the other videos. We don't want this to feel like a sales pitch because the primary purpose is educating you, most of you who are already signed up on the Luis Moreno unique assets. But we understand there are people who are not signed up. Maybe you stumbled across this, or you want more personalized one-to-one help. Remember, video 2 in this series covers the support options included, but let's again just hammer home, how do you get started? What's the process? There is a unique link in the description. This exact link will make sure you get all of the assets that are covered. This is the entry point. Anyone watching these videos, this is the link you should use so that you get the right material. Look for this free trial and free migration support, but underneath it, get Luis's exclusive templates. If you're stumbling across this and you've already been an Agent CRM user, but you want this content, reach out to our private support. We'll have that email in as well. But last thing here, if you want to get a quick start or a jump start to dialing in using these, what I always like to recommend here, we have promos. You are not paying more, you're paying in advance. So if you pay for 3 months up front, we will give you 3 hours of one-on-one time with Agent CRM tech specialists. They'll work with you over Zoom to dial in, to build your dream setup, or to customize some of the things that Luis has provided for you. Hope that some of you are able to take advantage of this quick starter resource so that you can actually start getting value for this system. We don't want you to feel like you're paying money. We want you to feel like you're getting value because the automations, the robots, they're working to build your business even while you sleep.
Yep. And let me tell you guys, if this is costing you money, the $97 that you're paying for this is not the problem. Problem is you. Okay. I'm just being blunt there. Okay. This thing is a slot machine. So you have to make it work for you to make money. You put in $1 and you're supposed to get 100 back. That's what the
That's right.
Agent CRM does. The problem is that if you don't tell it what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and give it all this stuff, then yeah, technically it's just taking your money away. So you gotta put some effort into it, learn how it works, and then start creating workflows and start adding your contacts, which can be your leads and your clients, and then let this thing work for you so that it makes you money. Okay. Yeah. So in a nutshell, guys, you got it all there. Use this link. It's going to be down below. Use my enrollment link. You get all my stuff that I'm building, that I have built, and what I will build in the future. And we will upload it into your own individual Agent CRM account so that you can take advantage of it. Thank you so much, guys. We have 2 more videos, possibly 3, coming up to finish this entire series of Agent CRM from the point of view of an agent, how I utilize it day in and day out. Thank you, guys.